be a top player as long as he can maintain his fitness. Players do get ACL injuries. Used
They
to
do,
finish a
yeah.
player's career years ago, but now,
Yeah.
technology health wise, they can get them back. Sometimes it takes a year to do it. And a
Yeah.
lot of women get those ACL injuries as well. I gather they're more prone to it because of the hip ratio, something like that. But that's a very serious injury. So as long as he can stay injury free, and I think he's probably got 3 or 4 or 5 years still of this blistering pace that he's got. And of course, let's face it, his height helps a bit as well because you
Yes.
watch him at corners. I mean, he's towers above most defenders. So,
Yeah.
and he does score some headed goals. So, yeah, phenomenal footballer. He really is. And yeah, if I were running a team, I'd want him as my centre
Yeah.
forward, my number 9, definitely.
And he's very fast as well. You know,
He really is.
he'll sprint past defenders just like
Yeah, no, he does.
it's
Like they're not
nothing. Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. Like they're not
yeah,
there. Yeah. Yeah. Now,
yeah.
Alexandra Isak. Um, what do we make of him at the moment? Right. So I read the statistics. That he's played 7 matches so far. No, not so far. The statistics says out of 7 matches, 0 goal assist. We're not talking about
Mm,
goals. We're talking about assist. So it doesn't even go near to scoring, let alone, well, it doesn't even go near to assisting or giving someone a pass. And scoring is definitely
mm.
zero. Now, is there something wrong with his fitness? Because when before the matches, you'll see him and he's always warming up. If you know, he's warming up, running up and down, and maybe it's the Liverpool coaching regime or something. I don't know, but I don't see many other players doing that. You know, they stand up. The coach goes, right, get yourself ready, stand up. You know, they take off their whatever
Yeah,
they wear, and they just do a little bit of a sprint, um, and then off they go. But with
yeah,
Isak, he gets advance notice. You know, he'll get advance notice on the matches where he's someone is substituted to get him in. He'll get advance notice, and you see him doing something very rigorous, and he'll do it, and then 5 minutes later or 10 minutes later, he's put on. Now, is his fitness? Is it got a problem with his fitness at the moment? Do we know?
yeah. Probably not a problem. But if you think about it, he didn't play for Newcastle while he was still there. He was at war with Newcastle, wasn't he? And
Yeah,
I think he was told. I think early on, once all this furore started, that
yeah,
he'd have to train on his own, which
yeah.
obviously wasn't great for him. And I don't know the full rights of what happened, but I think it really reached a point where he didn't even want to go near the club. And I
Yeah.
think he said, I won't play for them again, and so on. So there was emotional turmoil in him, understandably. He'd obviously
Mm.
set his heart on this move. But more to the point, he wasn't doing the training he was normally doing. So in a sense, it's a bit like not having a pre-season warm up when they come in back to their clubs early in July for the season, which starts early mid-August. So they normally have 4, 5, 6 weeks with a few games thrown in. Well, he probably didn't have any of that. So I
Mm.
think they clearly have been trying to bring him up to speed. And the fact is, I don't think he started many games. I mean, he started on Saturday against Palace because Ekitike was banned for the game. So I thought,
Mm.
yeah, he's bound to come in, and he did. He came in and played. And
Mm.
as I say, he didn't really feature, but in fairness to him, apart from one chance he had where you might have expected him to score. I'm glad he didn't, but he might have expected it.
Mm.
He didn't really do much, but as I say, other players didn't either. So it wasn't just down to him. But I think the extra training bit that they're doing is because he came into them not
Mm.
100% fit and certainly not 100% match fit, which is a key difference. You can be fit but not match fit,
That's it,
which
yeah.
is why after an injury, managers will often just bring on a player who's been injured, perhaps give him an hour or bring him on as a sub for the last 20 minutes, something like that. You've got to do it a bit gradually because match fitness is so key in the
Hmm.
Premier League rather than just being fit. So I don't think there's any issue with him. I think it's
Uh,
just he was out of he was out of being as fit as he should have been when
mm.
he arrived. Whether he'll justify his fee, I don't know. Generally nowadays, I think players do well against a great big fee, but it might
Mm.
take him a few times to settle in. And of course, if he doesn't start games, because Ekitike tends to be
Mm.
started, I don't know whether they'll play them together. I don't know.
Mm.
Seems a bit unlikely, perhaps. But if he doesn't start, he won't develop that confidence. I can remember at Palace 3 or 4 years ago when JP Mateta, a great character centre forward,
Mm.
he would be brought on often with 15 minutes to go. And I can remember people, oh God, he's hopeless and all that. But the poor guy was not given a chance.
Uh,
Really, I think most people thought, well, he's likely to be transferred somewhere. Once he got the place, really, when Glasner came,
yeah.
and that place was given to him, that position, centre forward,
Mm.
it's like it's chalk and cheese. He's a totally different footballer. He's the most
Absolutely.
infectious. I mean, Glasner says this. He's the most infectious footballer you could ever imagine. And perhaps I'll talk a bit more about him next time because he's worth
Wow.
5 or 10 minutes on his own as a great
Yeah.
asset for Crystal Palace.
I love him. I love him. Right. So we just got a minute for a true or false. True or false? Harry Kane is the best football player in the world.
Well, that's a subjective answer, isn't it? No, he's not. He's not the best football player in the world. No, he's a
Right.
great
Okay.
goal scorer, but he's not the best footballer.
All right. Do you want to do the conclusion, please?
Yeah, well, as I say, there's some interesting areas we've tried to cover there. Obviously, we look from afar and can only comment on what we see and perceive ourselves. But as I say, next week maybe we'll touch on JP Mateta, a wonderful character, wonderful footballer at Crystal Palace. Anyway, for the moment, hope you found it interesting today. I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz. Thank you for watching. It's a goodbye.